The Extraordinary Phenomenon Investigations Council presents Epic Voyages. Come join us as we enter and experience the great mysteries of the world with tonight's host,
John Cappello.
Okay, hello and welcome to Epic Voyagers Radio on the Inception Radio Network. I'm your guest host tonight, John Cappello. I'm a psychic medium from the North Texas area, and I'm delighted to be with you this evening. Thank you for joining us and for listening live or downloading our show from our archive. So we appreciate you very, very much. Now, tonight we're going to have a very special program. We're going to be talking about dinosaurs and aliens. You know, it's a topic that has just seems to have come alive here in the past few years. And it seems that more and more people are talking about that, and they're talking about dinosaurs and ancient aliens and the connection between the two. And so I thought it'd be good if we brought in a real expert for that particular topic. And I'm delighted to have a good friend of mine, Tommy Diammond, who's a real live dinosaur hunter. He actually goes out and finds dinosaur remains and has a couple of major finds to his credit. So I'm delighted to have Tommy with us tonight. Now, before we get to Tommy, I did want to talk about a couple of other things. First of all, I'd like to thank the people at Epics for allowing me to be their guest host again this evening. It's always a pleasure to be here. But I want to just direct our audience to the Epic Voyagers website at epicvoyagers.com. It's a wonderful website that you can go to and explore and find all of the wonderful things that Epic does as the Extraordinary Paranormal Investigations Council. And what we want to do is we want to invite you to share with us some of your experiences. So if you have an experience that is paranormal or is something about the extraterrestrial, if you have had an encounter or you feel that you are an abductee, we want to know about it. We want to talk to you about that, and we may just be able to send a team out there to investigate and help verify and validate some of the things that you have to say. So if you could just let us know that, we'd really appreciate it. It's what we do. So it's something that I know that I'm enjoying learning more and more about, and so it's a delight to have. To hear all the different stories about people's experiences in the paranormal and with ETs. So if you go to the Epic Voyagers website, you can see all the different things that, like I say, that Epic does, and you can sign our guest book too, because we like to know who's coming by to visit. Another thing that we have with Epic Voyagers is a very special YouTube channel. So we're very proud of the YouTubes that we have available, and we invite you to visit our channel often and see what our members are up to and see what's going on out there in the world of the paranormal and with the latest on ET discoveries. So if you have the time to do that, we'd really appreciate that. Now, if you want to call into the program tonight, we invite you to call our number at 888-919-2355. We would like to talk to you and have you join us in the conversation when Tommy comes on the program here in just a few moments. And this way we can talk to you about some of your questions that you might have for him, because he's one of the people that's really out there in the field, and he's one of the people that just has a knack for finding dinosaurs, and it's just extraordinary what Tommy does. Now, also, you can join us in the chat room, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Tommy is already there, and Tommy can answer some of your questions right now if you have any about his work and about some of his experiences. So please feel free to join us there as well. Now, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a psychic medium from the North Texas area. You can reach me if you'd like a private reading or want to know more about my work. You can call me at 888-440-7130, or you can just visit my website at johncappello.com. I do have a new book out. It's called Open the Mind, Exercise the Soul. It is published by Balboa Books, and I'll be doing a book signing at the upcoming I Can Do It conference in Austin, Texas on March 23rd and 24th. So I hope that you will come by and visit with us. The I Can Do It conference is a pretty big deal, and it's something that I know that you would enjoy if you were able to come as well. Now, what I do with my work is I travel around Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, demonstrating my psychic and mediumship abilities. But I'm going to expand those in the future, and I'm going to be looking for those things that are paranormal and any ET sightings. And this week, for instance, I have a friend of mine that's doing some investigating on some Bigfoot sightings in Oklahoma. So I'm going to be in Oklahoma in February, and if I get a chance, I'm going to go over to some of the grounds where some of the Bigfoot sightings have been reported. These sightings were started to be reported in the 1800s, so it has quite a history of Bigfoot sightings there. And so I'm fascinated to actually go to one of the sites. So it's going to be pretty good to do that. Now, I see that Joe has put in a picture of Tommy with a dinosaur shirt on in the chat room. And so you can kind of see who Tommy is if you're joining us in the chat room today. So one of the things I wanted to do as we get started into the program was talk to you a little bit about the year 2013. Now, being January and being in my field, the psychic and I guess if you want to call it the divination field, we always get bombarded with people wanting to know about predictions for the upcoming year. It just is a rite of passage, if you want to call it that. And recently we had a prediction night at one of the meetup groups that I sponsor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we had Valentina, the fortune teller of Dallas, as our guest. She's quite an extraordinary lady. If you have never experienced her, you can look her up on the internet as well. And she's quite well known and extraordinary with her abilities. And a lot of what she said for 2013 was that it was going to be a continuation of 2012. And there's going to be this odd gun violence that we experienced in 2012, unfortunately. And as a matter of fact, here in the news just a few hours ago in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there was an incident at a mall where a young man took his life with a firearm. And so it's just a sad part of our the news today. But it's something that we're just having to grapple with and deal with at the moment. But she was also talking about how water was going to be in the news. But she also was talking about how there's going to be a brand new gadget. Technology is going to take another leap this year, not only with the gadgets that we have, but in medical technology, there's going to be some medical breakthroughs with some diseases that have been chronic and troubling to the medical community. So there's going to be breakthroughs in the sense that there may not be an exact cure, but there's going to be a path found to a cure. And so this is going to be something very exciting to notice during this year. And if you look at this year from other aspects and look at it from a numerology aspect, you'll see that this year it resonates a 6 energy. And if you've listened to me on this program in the past, you know that I've talked about this in the past. And a 6 energy is an energy allowing people to kind of pull things together. it's a sense of responsibility. There's a sense of family. There's a sense of just trying to maybe calm things down or get things in order. And so that's what this year is about. It's about getting things in order. And on a personal basis, if you want to find out your personal year for your numerology, just take your birthday plus this year and add it up and reduce it to the lowest number, and you'll find out what your personal year is. And your personal year is kind of an indication of what you're going to be doing. For instance, last year was the year 2012, and that reduced to the number 5. And the number 5 means that it's kind of a year of big change, a year of chaos, a year of ups and downs, a year of being very, very unsettled. And it's nice to know that we're kind of moving from that energy to a new energy, which is going to allow us to have things settle down just a little bit. And it's always helpful to have those years after a chaotic one. And so this is a year, like I say, where you may have to deal with maybe an illness, or you may have to deal with something that is going to have to be managed. But it's something that you're going to be able to gain control over because of that 6 energy. Now, astrologically, there's another aspect to this year that I'd like to spend a couple of minutes about, just to tell you so that you're aware of it. One of the things is kind of a big deal in astrology is where the planet Saturn is. And if you're an Eastern astrologer, not only is Saturn important, but there's another little aspect called Rahu that is very significant. And right now, Saturn and Rahu are conjunct. And to those of you that don't know a little bit about Saturn and Rahu, let me just tell you that Saturn is the disciplinarian of the zodiac. Wherever Saturn is, that's the area that is cleaned up, and that's the area that is shaped differently or put on a different path. Or if you don't pay attention to Saturn, it usually bites you. It usually forces you to pay attention to those areas where it is in your particular chart. And Rahu is that god of chaos. It's the Hindu god of chaos, the Hindu god of euphoria. So you have this chaotic energy that is right next to the area of great discipline, and that is a calamity. So in this year where we have responsibility, and in this year when we have these trying to settle things down, we've got that lid that we are trying to keep things going, keep things kind of under control. And so someone like a Valentina that says that the chaos of the year 2012 is still trying to show itself and manifest itself. It's being controlled a little bit by the energy of 6 and the energy of Saturn. So although there may be some difficulties this year, you're going to see where there's going to be some calming down. And you're going to see where the government is going to try to be, they're going to try to get some things under control at the government a little bit this year as well. And it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some major eruptions and tough times ahead, but you're going to see the government there's going to be people trying to get things settled and get people to make some sense of things that are going on over there. Now, another area in astrology that is very worth noting is the placement of 2 other planets. And this placement is that of Pluto and the placement of Uranus. Now, wherever you see Pluto, you see transformation. You see major changes. But they happen over a slow period of time. They happen over a period of time that gives you a chance to ride the wave a little bit more carefully. It's kind of the rags to riches idea. So if you start out in one particular place, by the end of that particular period where Pluto is transiting, you're going to wind up in a totally different area. And it's important to know where Pluto is in your chart. And right now, Pluto is in the constellation of Capricorn if you're a Western astrologer. If you're an Eastern astrologer, a lot of times the Eastern astrologers don't even use Pluto in their calculations. But for Pluto to be in Capricorn, it's the time when you have major power shifts. And so we start to see these power shifts in the Middle East, and we start to see these power shifts in other parts of the world, and we start to see where traditions are starting to fall down, where they are no longer applicable. And new traditions start to arise. So we're starting to see these things happen, and it's often not an easy transition, but it's one that it is going to happen whether we want it to or not. So a lot of traditional ideas and values are changing, and you can look towards the energy of Pluto as a reason for that. That's astrologically speaking, of course. Now, the